So he posted a link to, it says 50 Cent reportedly developing a surviving T.I. and Tiny documentary.
How many times have you been arrested?
And how did you tell his mom that her son was gone?
So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
One could watch this and think that you really hate because of the things that you post on Instagram.
And I die in the street about this shit, man. This shit dead serious to me. And then when I do rap shit, man, this shit is full of this type.
50 Cent just lit a fuse under the entire hip-hop internet and then walked away like nothing happened. He surfaced a sneak peek of a documentary targeting T.I. and Tiny, packed with allegations serious enough to make people stop scrolling. When he pulled the post down, everybody assumed it was a bluff. Then he dropped the most explosive piece anyway. And now, word on the street is, T.I. is not in a good place mentally. We've got the full story. Let's get into it. The drop and the reaction. March 5th, 2026, 50 Cent slides onto Instagram, posts something that immediately starts moving, then kills it before midnight. The post was tied to a headline about Fifth quietly building a documentary called Surviving T.I. and Tiny. In the caption, he drew a direct line to his last documentary run, told T point blank that questions about his 20 sexual assault cases were coming, and suggested he might want a crisis PR team on speed dial. He pulled it down. Didn't matter. The internet had already made its copies.
He posted it on his page.
Well, it ain't on there now. Did he take it off?
Yeah, he deleted it.
He put it up and then took it down. And everybody grabbed it.
The post was gone, but the damage was already done. Within hours, every hip-hop blog, every gossip page, every YouTube channel had picked it up and run.
Yeah, everybody grabbed it.
So he basically, he shut the internet down today just showing that I ain't done with this shit.
The Jasmine brand, Ice Cream Convos, the Hip Hop Democrat, every major outlet jumped on it within the hour. And this wasn't entirely a surprise. Gossip commentator Tasha K had already been dropping hints as far back as March 1st, 2026, that 50 was quietly cooking something while the tension between him and T.I. was building. The deleted post simply gave every platform in the game the green light to run the story openly. But the caption wasn't random. Fifth was deliberately connecting dots back to his previous documentary work, framing Surviving T.I. and Tiny as the natural next move in a playbook he had already proven worked. And that title? Not an accident. It was a direct echo of Lifetime's Surviving R. Kelly, the 2019 docuseries that pulled decades of alleged abuse into the open, centered survivor voices, and ultimately played a role in putting Kelly behind bars. Naming it that way sent a message before a single frame was ever filmed.
50 Cent hints at Surviving T.I. and Tiny, listen at this, documentary, and calls out the rapper over 20 sexual assault cases.
T.I. wasn't about to let that slide. He went straight to Instagram, family photo front and center, and fired back publicly.
Says 50, drop whatever you choose. Just please keep showing the world you're a whore. On Clay. Who's Clay? And you still ain't tell us why you in 4K dick pulling with the smile of a sissy. Pandora's box is ajar, which means open in Spanish. Good luck. You nigga. You suck. P.S. Me and mine till the end of time. It's a trauma bond.
Same day, Tip let his actions speak louder than any caption ever could. He posted a video of himself and King Harris locked in together, deep in a new track called Let 'Em Know, produced by Pharrell, straight off the upcoming album Kill the King. The message was clear without a single word needed.
T.I. dropped this video and he says, we can go bar for bar, hit for hit, or doc for doc. Either way, all you're gonna do is show how much of a you is. Let's play. Nobody fears you over here, boo-boo. And he dropped another freestyle, or some song.
Around March 7th, 2026, T.I. dropped Trauma Bond and went straight for the throat. The lyrics leaned heavy on family loyalty and treated 50's entire documentary threat like it was never worth losing sleep over. The title alone told the world exactly how T.I. was positioning his squad in all of this.
P.S. Me and mine till the end of time. It's a trauma bond.
Tip's entire energy through this whole situation was pure no fear. Bars, captions, challenges, and release after release after release. Without realizing it, 50 handed T.I. a free promo run right in the middle of his album rollout, and Tip collected every penny of it. But to really understand why 50 even pulled out the documentary card, you have to go back to where the real fire started, because this beef didn't begin in 2026. The bad blood between these two stretches back nearly 20 years. What ignited things in early 2026 was a Versailles battle 50 Cent never had the nerve to show up for. The original friction traces back to 2007 and 2008 when T.I. caught a federal gun charge for trying to acquire machine guns and silencers. He negotiated a plea deal and ended up serving roughly a year, despite facing up to a decade. 50 Cent looked at those numbers and said out loud what plenty of people in the streets were already whispering, that a sentence that light only made sense if T.I. had traded something for it. On the 2008 G-Unit track You So Tough, Fifth put it directly in bars, using T.I.'s reduced time as ammunition and painting Tip as a federal cooperator. That snitch label never fully disappeared. Through the 2010s, both men kept their distance, exchanging occasional jabs, but never going all the way in. When T.I. and Tiny caught drug possession charges in 2011, 50 clowned it on social media, but neither man was ready to go to war. They both had too much on the table. T.I. had his acting career, the Trap Museum and reality TV. 50 had the Power franchise, a growing business empire in G-Unit film and television. A full rap beef wasn't worth the interruption. Then the pandemic hit, Versailles launched, and everything changed. When Timbaland and Swizz Beatz built the platform in 2020, T.I. spotted his moment. On July 6, 2020, 50 Cent's 45th birthday, Tip posted a formal call-out demanding a 20-song catalog battle. 50 laughed it off. T.I. kept pushing in every interview. 50 kept dodging. The battle never happened. Fast forward to early 2026, T.I. was deep in his promo run for Let 'Em Know, sitting down with Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco on Nightcap. He brought up Versailles again, but this time with a detail nobody had heard before. He said 50 had actually agreed to do it privately. According to Tip, the two were together in LA pitching TV shows when the topic came up. 50 was reportedly on board. The plan was simple. T.I. calls it out publicly first, 50 follows, and they build the momentum together.
It just come out of nowhere. Nigga, we were moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows while we were around each other, man, you know what I mean? I said, what you think about this? Like, you wanna do that shit? I said, yeah. He was like, all right, cool. So I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up.
But the second T.I. went public, 50 vanished. No follow-up, no acknowledgement, nothing. And according to Tip, that one move erased whatever respect he still had for the man.
And he said, all right. And when I jump out there, he act like he ain't know what was going on. Then that's what it was about. You know what I'm saying? Now, it about, oh, you playing.
That detail is what gave T.I.'s entire position its legs. This wasn't just a rapper getting curved on a versus request anymore. This was a man who agreed behind closed doors, then played dumb the moment it went public. That's a different kind of disrespect. 50's response wasn't a statement or a press run. He went straight to Instagram and posted a deliberately unflattering photo of Tiny Harris, a bad angle, clearly handpicked to embarrass, with a caption telling T.I. to keep his name out of his mouth. Most people took it as a direct shot at the entire Harris household. Marketing professional Karen Civil, who moved in serious industry circles alongside Lil Wayne and major players, offered a different read on Threads. Her take was that 50 never actually said anything directly disrespectful about Tiny, that he simply posted her photo and told T.I. to leave him alone.
50 posted a picture of Tiny and said, leave me out of it. Social media T.I. and his whole family took that post as a negative connotation, even though he never specifically said anything bad about Tiny. He just posted her photo and said, stop discussing.
But the Harris family wasn't seeing it that way at all. King Harris dug up old NSFW images of 50 that had been buried on the internet for years and blasted them publicly. Damani Harris came in with diss tracks aimed straight at 50's past. T.I. himself started dropping records back to back. The situation escalated fast enough that police reportedly received calls about online threats. What started as a social media exchange had spilled into real life. T.I. stepped in front of TMZ cameras and made his position crystal clear.
Listen, man, the only thing I have to say is very unfortunate, but honestly, I wasn't here to defeat, I was here to defend.
But what 50 was really threatening to weaponize in that documentary cuts far deeper than any versus snub. The 20 sexual assault cases he dropped in that deleted caption point to a story that first surfaced in January 2021 and nearly buried T.I. and Tiny's careers entirely. It started on January 25, 2021, when Atlanta entrepreneur Sabrina Peterson went on Instagram and accused T.I. of pulling a gun on her in front of her children. She took the post down, but not before the comments section cracked wide open. Women began sharing their own accounts. Peterson gathered them and pushed them out through her Instagram stories, where they lived for 24 hours before vanishing. What those stories revealed was a pattern that showed up again and again. Women alleged that T.I. and Tiny operated with a system: draw women into parties or hotel suites, get spiked drinks into their hands laced with MDMA or ecstasy, then move on them without consent. Attorney Tyrone A. Blackburn, who took on multiple accusers as clients, said the consistency across the accounts was impossible to ignore. By January 28th and 29th, Peterson had pushed over 24 of these stories into the public eye. One early anonymous accuser described being drugged after meeting the couple at a nightclub, waking up the next morning in pain with no memory of the night before. The pattern never deviated. The celebrity access, the VIP invite, the spiked drink, the blackout, then the morning after. The most detailed account on record involved a U.S. Air Force veteran and a night that allegedly went completely wrong in 2005.
So T.I. and Tiny have been sued for sexual assault and battery on a woman in a Los Angeles hotel. So the situation, the woman claims that in 2005, she was enlisted in the U.S. Air Force at the time.
According to the lawsuit she eventually filed, she crossed paths with T.I. and Tiny at a party, heard they'd be at a club the following night, showed up, linked with them in VIP, and accepted a drink from Tiny. After that one drink, she said everything started falling apart on her.
She met T.I. and Tiny in the VIP section, so at this point, they're all hanging out in the VIP section. She says she ordered 2 amaretto sours on her own.
She alleged that after accepting that drink, she ended up leaving with T.I. and Tiny for their hotel. The 2 other women in the car got dropped off along the way. Once inside the room, she said things escalated until her body gave out on her. Dizziness hit first, then her legs went, then everything went black. She made it to the bathroom to be sick and blacked out a second time.
The woman then went to the bathroom to throw up, and she said she blacked out after that. She woke up the next morning.
In pain. Security escorted her out while T.I. and Tiny were still asleep. T.I. and Tiny didn't stay quiet. On January 29, 2021, their spokesperson came out swinging, calling the allegations a deeply offensive and coordinated shakedown campaign. Then T.I. went on Instagram himself to address it directly.
Whatever we ever have done has been done with consensual adults who into what we into and like what we like. If we want something, we know exactly where to go to get it.
By March 1st, Blackburn stood before cameras at a press conference and announced he had heard from over 30 potential victims and witnesses. 3 more women came forward that same month alone. One alleging she was drugged and assaulted in Miami in 2010, another with a near-identical story out of Las Vegas, and a third claiming she was held against her will after a party. In May 2021, the LAPD officially confirmed an active investigation into the 2005 Air Force veteran case. Las Vegas Metro Police opened a separate probe into the 2010 incident. VH1 pulled their reality show in February 2021. The fallout was coming from every direction at once. But here's where the story takes a turn. Because what those investigations actually delivered, or more accurately, what they couldn't deliver, is what gives 50's documentary threat its real power today. Every single criminal investigation into T.I. and Tiny hit the exact same wall. No guilty verdict. No not guilty verdict either. Every case died before it ever reached one. In September 2021, the Los Angeles County DA's office declined to file charges in the 2005 Air Force veteran case. The reason had nothing to do with the evidence. Under California's pre-2007 rules, the statute of limitations sat at 10 years, and that clock had already expired. The DA's office never even got to evaluate the facts. The case was gone on a technicality of time alone. T.I. and Tiny's attorney, Sean Hawley, called it a vindication, but the DA's own paperwork told a strictly procedural story. Time simply ran out before anyone could get to the substance. Las Vegas Metro ran their investigation into the 2010 incident and landed in the same place: no charges. Probes in Georgia and Florida, triggered by Blackburn's letters to prosecutors, never produced formal indictments either. No federal charges materialized anywhere. Commentators covering the story were straight about what that legal record actually meant.
This situation with T.I. and Tiny, like it says, no criminal charges was ever filed. They were investigated but never arrested for those allegations. No criminal charges was filed, largely due to the statute of limitations, issues and lack of prosecutable cases.
The criminal lane was completely closed off, so the accusers shifted to civil court. In January 2024, the same Air Force veteran from the 2005 case filed a civil lawsuit in Los Angeles Superior Court, this time coming through under California's Sexual Abuse and Cover-Up Accountability Act, a 2022 law that reopened the door for civil claims where the statute of limitations had already expired, provided there was evidence of a cover-up tied to a responsible entity.
And what that allows victims to do, that it gives adult survivors more time to file lawsuits in cases where, like, the statute of limitations would have expired.
T.I. and Tiny moved the case to federal court in March 2024 and filed for dismissal in June 2022. Their argument was straightforward. The claims were time-barred, and the complaint didn't establish enough to actually trigger the revival statute. specifically that no qualifying cover-up by a legally responsible entity had been demonstrated. On August 8, 2024, U.S. District Judge Sherilyn Peace Garnett agreed and dismissed the lawsuit in full. The dismissal came without prejudice, leaving the door open for the plaintiff to refile with an amended complaint. As of March 2026, nothing has come through publicly. On a separate track, the defamation case T.I. and Tiny had filed against Sabrina Peterson, the woman whose 2021 Instagram post cracked everything open, was moving through courts on its own timeline. Peterson countered with her own suit for defamation, trade libel, and emotional distress. In June 2023, a California appeals court knocked out 5 of her 7 claims. By October 2023, a judge ordered Peterson to cover $96,730 in legal fees on the dismissed counts. The full defamation trial between T.I. and Peterson is currently scheduled for June 9, 2026. So where does that leave everything? No convictions, no criminal charges ever filed. The major civil lawsuit dismissed in August 2024 with no public refiling, and a defamation trial penciled in for summer 2026. And that's exactly where 50's documentary threat finds its power. There's no conviction on the books, but there's nothing that officially cleared the Harrises in the public's mind either. The allegations are legally closed, but culturally unresolved. That gap is where a documentary does its most damage. And whatever 50 is building, if he's building anything at all, is living right inside it. Which brings us to the real question. How real is this documentary actually? As of March 13th, 2026, the answer is simple. It doesn't exist. No episodes filmed, no network deal announced, no casting calls, no production schedule from 50 or anyone at G-Unit Film and Television. What exists is a single post that went up, broke the internet, and got pulled down before the day was even over. Anyone who has watched 50 Cent operate for the past 2 decades knows exactly what that move was. His entire playbook, stay quiet, let the pressure build, then drop something that flips public perception before anyone can respond, is well documented. The deleted post was running that exact same game. Plant the headline, let every blog and channel carry it, pull it back before it becomes a real commitment, and watch the chaos do the work on its own. But even if the documentary were real, the question remains whether it would hit the way 50 needs it to. The appetite for a T.I. and Tiny documentary simply isn't where it was for 50's previous project. The allegations were investigated, courts weighed in, and the public largely closed the chapter years ago.
Yeah, but I don't think Netflix is gonna give him no deal on no T.I. documentary.
Last time we thought
I don't think so. The demand is not as high for a T.I. documentary.
When 50 finally responded to T.I.'s wave of diss records, it never came through the music directly. Instead, it came wrapped inside the theme song for his star show Power Origins, featuring Leon Thomas, dropping March 6, 2026. The track carried indirect shots, bars about people learning to leave him alone, lines about those who sold their self-respect chasing clout, but never once put T.I.'s name on it.
So 50 drops a theme song for one of the shows and disses T.I. Let's hear it. Your daddy made your mama eat every box in Atlanta.
That bar was widely read as a shot at King Harris rather than T.I. directly, and it revealed exactly which lane 50 had decided to stay in. He wasn't stepping up to trade bars with Tip. He was using a TV property to slip in shots while keeping his hands clean, letting the documentary threat do the real heavy lifting out in the streets. Analysts watching the situation clocked the strategy immediately.
Are we expecting 50 to really compete, like, musically? I don't know, maybe I'm being biased because I'm like, bro, there's nothing that I would think 50 would respond to.
Meanwhile, T.I. was flooding the timeline relentlessly. War, The Right One, Lessons, Made Man, Let Him Know, Trauma Bond, back to back to back. His final album, Kill the King, was being built right in the middle of the smoke, and the beef was fueling the rollout in ways no marketing budget could have ever purchased. But T.I. had one regret through all of it: watching his son, King, cross the line of putting 50's late mother on a t-shirt. In interview after interview, T.I. said that was the moment he had to pump the brakes.
I said that's enough, really. I said that's enough when I seen that t-shirt. I said, man, this is enough. That's it. I said, man, chill out, bro. Chill out. Because again, I'm big on treating people the way I want to be treated.
Right.
I don't be out here just doing unto others in ways I don't want to be done.
When TMZ caught up with T.I. and pressed him to make sense of everything, his answer was short, clean, and perfectly in line with everything he had been saying since day one.
The only thing I had to say is very unfortunate, but honestly, I wasn't here to defeat, I was here to defend. I'm just happy that the women and children in my family know that there's a line of men that's ready to stand and protect from whoever against whoever.
What this whole situation has shown the culture is exactly how hip-hop beefs get played at the highest level in 2026. The threat of a documentary hits harder than any actual documentary ever could. A post you delete before lunchtime can cause more damage than a finished project that takes 2 years to build. The documentary everyone has been debating doesn't exist yet, and T.I. is still standing, still dropping what he says is his final album, still holding his family together in public, still telling 50 Cent to release whatever he wants to release. Whether that documentary ever actually gets made is what writes the next chapter. But right now, the only thing 50 Cent has officially put out is a post he couldn't even leave up for a full day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit one of the suggested videos on your screen right now for more.